Hello everyone. Welcome to the Digital Diversity here. We are at a particularly fun time for the Digital Diversity because we're now a podcast as well, and I'm super excited. We are up on a few of the major platforms at the moment. We'll figure out where later on down the track, but just super excited about that. Brought on Time Patches, Maddie as my co-host for that, and I'm super amazing. You might know her from When Asta Falls, a game that I have talked about far too much in my time, but I love. And today, what are we doing? We are playing a couple of good old visual novels, as is our want for digital diversity. We are playing the start of something amazing, and we are going to be continuing on with some good old-fashioned bunker romance in As We Know It. So we're gonna go around there, but we're just gonna have a chill for a bit, and we're gonna talk, we're gonna hang out, just chill and be positive today. It's a relatively difficult day in the land of Oz right now because it is Invasion Day. Australia, as many people in this country and probably getting more well known in many other places now, was pretty brutally colonized, and the land was never ceded, it was never bought or anything else like that. Europeans just turned up and ruined shit. And I've got my own personal hang-ups with it because I'm ex-military, and it's usually a bad day for that sort of shit. But we're going to be positive today. There is a positive giant monster trend going around on Twitter, which is wonderful. Godzilla BT or something like that. I saw it earlier today, and I'm really happy to see it. What was it? Let me find it. Hashtag Godzilla BT. And it's really wonderful because it's just a bunch of queer folk from the kaiju and giant monster fan base talking about how that community should be positive and welcoming due to a bunch of homophobia and transphobia and shit that was going around in that. So yeah, we're going to be very queer today, and we're going to be pretty advocate today. Hey, big roars. I think there is you can also stomp if you want. Hey, Tangle Virus! Hey, awesome! Minus about taxes. Looks like we have Tangle Virus, the creator of, one of the creators of the first game that we're going to be playing today, and I'm super excited about this. This is a relatively recent addition to the list. The list is now like 90 games. Quite a lot of them are TTRPGs, which I am really glad we've brought Time Patches on to the Digital Diversity Project, because Maddie actually knows more about tabletop roleplay games than I do. So have someone who could actually go through and talk to the people who make those ones. So let's see, got all that going, we got all that. How is everyone doing? How are y'all doing? How's everyone doing today? I'm super excited. I put off stream yesterday because it was a very big day. The podcast launched, and I've been like tying myself up in knots, worrying about having a smooth launch, but it looked like it all came through fine. Still need to work on getting it up on more platforms. You're fine? That's wonderful. Yeah, still need to look at getting up on more platforms, but it is up now on Buzzsprout, Stitcher, Spotify. So those are 3. I think I still need to get it up on Apple and Google, so we'll figure it out. Holy crap! Holy crap! Thanks for the hosts sub, the the gifted subs. KP322. Holy crap. Well, I guess a bunch of you now have access to the smile emote, which I need to apparently holy crap. Thanks for your support. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Breathe. I can breathe. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh, okay. This is how we start the year. This is a trend is being set. A precedent is being set. Oh. God damn it. Fine. Thank you so much, everyone. Fuck, I love that song. Every time I hear it. If you have never heard the full version of the, what is it? The Groovy Ghoulies? Let's see if I can find it. That's just a chunk of an old monster song that I love, and I highly recommend going out and watching the video clip. Groovy Ghoulies. Go check it out. Go listen to it. It is so good and so fun, and it makes me smile every time. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for those subscriptions. They help the digital diversity. Thank you for the follows already. Holy shit. Are we good? Okay. Damn. Thank you. Okay. Seems like y'all got an extra emote to play around with. A bit of trans kaiju positivity there. Okay. How is everyone? How are you doing, Draz? How goes things? How goes everyone? I guess we should start this ball rolling now before I get too caught up in my own thing. No, we've only just started, Bob. I'm just almost in tears because KP3228 gifted a bunch of subs, which is fantastic, and we got some new follows, and we're just chilling and talking about queer shit and the podcast and all of that fun stuff. I probably need to move my mic closer. Very cool. Thank you for that donation. 420 stomp cities every day. Thank you. KP3228. That's wonderful. That is an amazing gift to the community. I really appreciate it, because help via this or the Patreon or anything else like that, or just getting the word of mouth out, helps this project. And this is the starting of year 3 of the Digital Diversity Project. So we're gonna do things. Oh good. You're tired but glad to be here? I'm glad you're here. I think that at least half the people here already are visual novel makers. If I haven't already played your games yet, then I probably will. Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. And then we're gonna work some stuff out, and we're gonna go on. Okay, we happy? We're good? Okay. We're good. Don't mind me. Alright, let's move over to our first game of today. And I'm just going to update the thingy. There we go. Our first game of today is going to be the start of something amazing. It's a relatively new addition to the list, but I'm super keen to check it out. And let's go on over. So this one is by Tanglevirus and Sakura Lily, I believe. and I am very curious to see how it goes. And then we're gonna go back for some bunker romance, and as we know it. So let's give it a go. The link is up the top there. From what I checked of the list, there are no content warnings. Yes, wonderful. There you go. By Tangle Virus and Sakura Lily. We have one of at least Tangle Virus in chat. So I am very keen. Shall we get going? Anything I need to know going in here, Tangle Virus? Anything I need to get my head around, or any thinking behind? Renpai version 1.1, always good. Blah 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 blah. All good. It's cute and gay. Sounds good. We like cute and gay. Speaking of cute and gay, before I get to the game, because I'm gonna put this thing off because I can. I got stickers from Bob C Games from Yags, Yearning a Gay Story, and they are so cute. Fuck, like, where's the other one? There's at least a few more in here, and there's James, and there's Jason, wasn't it? That's the one. That's the one we romanced. Very cute, very cute. One of these days, this one's very solid. Jake, that's it, Jake. It's been a while. This one's very solid, but that's super cute. Aww. Shout outs to Lily and Tangled. They're good babs. Then let's get to this before I get even more distracted. All right, let's play this game. Ready to do some narrating? This visual novel currently has no soundtrack, so it's recommended you put your favorite music playlist while reading this visual novel. We're gonna have to find something. The problem with doing music is I'll end up getting copyrighted after. So we're gonna do this sans music. We're gonna do it proper book form. Or a playlist you think is comfortable. Please enjoy. The paved roads under my feet look strangely unfamiliar. It's not the first time I've been here. Quite the contrary. I come here all the time, yet tonight it seems different. The street has an unnerving atmosphere. It's so empty and quiet that I can't help but shiver with anticipation for something that I have no idea what it is. I can't help but check back over my shoulder every couple of steps, my eyes scanning the dim light of my surroundings as if something is following me. Why am I so on edge? I love Rosie already. They're adorable. That is some cute as fuck character design. Just saying. Yeah, that bow is on point. I like that bow. I shake my head, trying to tell myself that it'll all be fine. This isn't the first time you've gone to her house. You'll be fine. Oh, that blush. I straighten myself up and continue walking, trying to fill myself with the confidence that is eluding me today. See, there's nothing to worry about. I hear a rustling in the bushes behind me and my entire body freezes to the spot. I turn my head to look over and see an owl flying off into the distance. I let out a sigh of relief and turn back, continuing to walk towards Emily's house. But I still can't relax. My nerves increasing with every step that I take. I round the corner and look at the row of houses to my left. There it is. Aww. Sakura Lily wrote the story. Tangle Virus did the art and put it together on Renpai. I am very much a Godzilla fan, Zigra. Yes, I love pretty much all giant monsters. But I have many Godzillas. I have so many Godzillas. I smile as I look at the familiar building still sandwiched between its neighbors, where it's always been. And yet I still can't help but feel my nerves spike as I look at it. I close my eyes and take a deep breath in. You can do this. It's a few more steps away. Not opening my eyes, I take a step forward, then another, and soon I find myself running towards the house. I end up opening my eyes a few seconds later, catching myself in time to swerve to avoid running straight into the car that is parked outside Emily's house. Oh, nice. It sounds like a heck of a figure. 10-inch figure is big. Most of mine are like 8, I think. Well, I'm here now at least. I look up the red painted oak door that makes the border between the outside world and Emily's. I can feel my heart hammering in my chest at the sight of it. Now that I think about it, I've been feeling like this a lot when it comes to Emily recently. Let's meet Emily. Let's meet Emily. I look down at my hands to see them shaking slightly. I wonder if there's a reason for it. To try and distract myself from my thoughts, I reach up and knock on the door, looking at the violets that are lined up in small plant pots in the small window ledge to my left. Each one arranged in a way that is obviously an attempt to be uniform pattern, but with quite a few imperfections that haven't been addressed. I just love this, this beautiful, adorable design, this gorgeous house in the middle of everything else which seems mundane differently. And the violets are gorgeous. I love violets. Aww. Thank you. A shuffling from inside can be heard, distracting me and causing me to look towards the door. Ultraman show came out here yesterday. No, I've never actually gotten into the Ultraman series. It's weird, but that's one thing that missed me. We got a lot of Power Rangers when I was a kid, which is essentially the Ultraman for Western. Although I guess Super Sentai would be the equivalent. But no, we didn't get Ultraman here. I really need to catch up and check that out. I can see the outline of a figure through the frosted glass that gets closer before I finally hear a key turning in a lock and the door swings open. Rosie, you made it! Aww! Emily's cute as fuck. I love that. Of course I did. She immediately pulls me into a hug and I feel my body, which I didn't realize that I'd been tensing, relax slightly. Her body is so warm and comforting, and I wish we could stay like this forever. That's so cute. Is that watercolor work? Tangled? Best drawing you did in 2019? It's good. It's good. Is that watercolor or gouache? Gouache? Watercolor brush. Okay, yeah. I love this mix of mediums, the very clear lines of the computer drawn, and then this beautiful watercolor work on the back on Clip Studio. Oh, really? However, she pulls away a few seconds after, and I feel myself longing to be back in her arms, to be by her side, to be close to her. Japanese on Titanosaurus, Gabra X-Pos series. That's a lot. My kaiju collection is relatively small by comparison. I think I've only got 40 or so figures. I did order a couple more today, because why the hell not? I can feel the buzz in my cheeks, so I try to push the thoughts of her from my head. That blush. I'm meant to be having a fun evening. I can't keep acting like this. Yeah, you can. You never know. You could have forgotten and left me here, all alone. I laugh at her enthusiastic tone, almost able to ignore the nervousness coursing through me. She looks beautiful. Damn right she does. She has her usual frizzy blonde mess of hair that I've come to love over the years, a dark t-shirt with a purple hoodie pulled over it, with rolled up jeans that match her shirt. It's such a simple outfit, but I can never stop myself from loving how she looks in it. I would never do that. You should know that by now. Come on in then. Let's get this sleepover started. Sleepover! She steps to the side and makes room for me to enter, which I do. I slip my shoes off, leaving them by the door as I move further into her house. Okay. Thanks, Doug. So what now? Emily laughs, shutting the door behind me, and walks up to me. First things first, we need to get you out of those clothes. Already? Yes, this is Tangled's game. Oh, Tangled and Lily's.
They played the Monster Mash.
I'm gonna have to have that on loop when I finish this stream. Every time I hear it, I want to just listen to the full song. We're up to the lewd part, apparently. Like, I love the giraffe picture in the background. Hi, giraffe. I love this sort of simple, clear, but popping kind of art. It always makes me smile. Oop. I feel my heart stops as I hear those words. There's no way she means Rule 34. No. As if to emphasize her words, she steps up close to me, pausing to stare into my eyes and completely interrupting my thought process to make my brain a complete incoherent mess. After a few seconds, she steps past me and bursts into laughter. You should see your face. Backgrounds, oh, they're so lovely. I love it. Huh? I notice the buzz that's plaguing my cheeks and can tell that I'm blushing madly. Badly? Badly. Bah. So I try to distract myself by taking my coat off and hanging it on the back of the door. We need to get you changed into our pajamas, silly. Oh. I don't look at her, trying to hide the blush with my hair. Been there, done that. What else could I have meant? Her voice has sarcastically innocent and timid tone to it, and I know she's teasing me. I decide not to humor her and walk past, clutching my bag to my shoulder. Emily's always been good at teasing me. Whenever the two of us hang out, she always finds some way to make me blush. Whoop. Let's turn that off. Boop. At first I didn't mind it, but recently it happens more frequently, and each time it affects me worse than the previous. The 98 remake of Godzilla was a different thing. We can still accept it as a Zilla movie, just not as Godzilla. It was terrible, but it's still funny. I have no idea why exactly, but now whenever I go see her, I get so nervous that I struggle to think about anything other than her. Should we take turns in your room, or should I go to the bathroom to get changed? Why not both get changed in the bedroom? It's not like we'd be seeing anything new. Despite the teasing tone in her voice and knowing she didn't mean it, I still find myself blushing again. With how tonight has gone so far, I don't think I can trust her in that scenario. I'll get changed in the bathroom then. She laughs and pokes my cheek with her finger, right where my blush is. Knock when you're done then. You've been yelling gay this whole time and staying there. Bathroom's extra gay. Yeah. Godzilla did knock off Zilla in like 5 seconds in Final Wars. That is like... That's what I mean. Like 98 Godzilla isn't Zilla. It's just Zilla. And this is Hyper Gay Arcade Edition. She smiles at me, then walks towards her bedroom. I find myself in a daze as I stare after her. This is going to be an interesting night, if she's in this kind of mood. I watch her disappear into the bedroom, feeling my blush intensify as she catches my eye and winks at me before closing the door behind her. The beating of my heart starts to increase and I find myself unable to think of anything but her. Yeah, they did do it in Melbourne. Was it Melbourne or Sydney that they did it? I know there was the train line. I hate how easily she can do this to me. I'm getting like big top energy off Emily right now. After a few seconds, I snap out of my trance and head towards the bathroom. I need to stop letting her get to me. From now on, I'll resist all of her teasing. I quickly get changed, finding my pajamas in my bag and exchanging them for my outdoor wear before packing my things back and heading out to the bathroom. That's good colours for pajamas. I like some pajamas like that. Right, time to commence Operation Not Get Teased by Emily. I reach out and knock on her bedroom door. Come in. I open the door and look around the room. What do we got? Some kind of... Probably some kind of trophy there. Cute little laptop. I want to see what's on the rest of the poster. Yeah, you have a good point. Yeah, Emily won a Golden Globe for something. As always, it's a mess, but at least it looks like she's tried to make an effort. Her bed sheets are on her bed, there's no rubbish on the floor, and although there are a couple of shirts on the carpet, the entire floor isn't made from dirty clothing. Emily herself is lying down on the bed, her body turns to face me as I enter. You've actually tried to clean your room. Best actress in something. I try to make the words sound as sarcastic as possible, trying to turn her own tactic of teasing against her. Of course, I always make an effort for you. Fucking smirk. That smirk there and the like shy little smile there is just so perfect. I love it. Yeah, if anyone could BS their way to an award show, it would be Emily. That's the face of someone who just turned up to the Golden Globes one day, walked in and walked up on stage and accepted the trophy. Like, hi! I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it's nice. It's pretty. I think it'll go well in my bedroom. Okay, bye. And just walks off to the buffet table or something. And everyone's just like, deserved that. Deserved it. Such a simple sentence, but the tone of her voice and the look she gives me makes me forget all about my plan to not get teased about her, and I feel blood rushing to my cheeks. Everyone's just like, wow, I'm gay. Best Actress's part is Scarlett Johansson. Fuck. Yeah, if anyone could play Scarlett Johansson in her biopic, it would be Emily. We know this. How does she do it? She can make me so flustered with such a simple notion. Emily smiles at me before shuffling over on the bed. Here, come lie next to me. She pats the bed next to her as she says this. Okay. I put my bag down on the floor and walk over to her bed, lying down there and staring up at the blank ceiling. So, do you have anything planned for tonight? Yeah, 64 and a 62 12-inch figure. Nice. I've got some Gamera ones coming that I'm really looking forward to. I got a 95 Gamera and a Legion coming from Japan that I'm looking forward to. Not really. I wanted to spend some more time with you, so I invited you here. You should know I never think things through. I can feel my cheeks tingle slightly at those words. I guess the plan for not getting teased by her is up in flames now. Do we have it? Do we have it? Let's see if I have this one. You're like Iris? Iris is amazing. I need to get something for Iris. Yeah, that does sound like you. I smile to myself as I glance over at Emily. Her dark skin and contrasting blonde hair both jump out at me, and I find myself watching how her hair is running down her face towards a hand that's bent, propping her up on the bed. The skin of her face looks softer than I remember it being, and I start to feel an urge to reach over and touch it, one that I quickly resist, of course. Her brown eyes seem to sparkle as they catch the light, and I can't help but think that before them some evil scheme is being plotted to tease me even more. Just seeing this lust meter increase progressively as Emily's talking. Like, I think, what are we up to about now? About a 45 out of 100 on the lust meter? I start to prepare myself for whatever that might be, but then I see her lips curl into a smile, and I can't help but return the gesture when I see it. Maybe her teasing me isn't a bad thing. She enjoys it after all, and I can't say I hate it. Yeah, this game is heckin' gay. It's okay. Cause so's we. Have you been studying for the test next week? Oh, please, no talk about school, studying, or anything boring. Ask me about how I won my Golden Globe up here on the shelf. I'll take that as a no then. I let out a small sigh of defeat. I know I'll never be able to convince her otherwise, but I still can't help but try when I get the chance. People don't bother you is all given the fact. Yep. There's a lot of us queer folk out there. And quite a few of us are wonderful. School's important though. You shouldn't be so carefree about it. Today, this stream is about queer stuff, so that's where we go with these. It's games made by members of the queer community, by LGBTQIA plus community. And yeah. That's what digital diversity is. Don't talk to me about that show. That's one show I do not want to talk. I don't like. There's corporatization of queer culture that I am not a fan of. Other people like it, and that's totally fine with them. Just not my thing. I have you to do the homework for me though. I'm fine. I don't even bother responding to that. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help but do the work for her as well as my own when she comes to me the night before the deadline with no clue how to answer any other questions. It's something I've been doing for years and was how we started to become friends in the first place. Back in previous school, they decided to pair up with the struggling and hard-to-work students to try and allow the former to learn from the latter. It was obvious how our sessions would go from the beginning though. Despite all my efforts to get her to learn, she would ask me to do every question to the point that I was basically answering them all for her. Yeah, that show is really about trying to capitalize on specific aspects of quite camp queer culture. Some people get into it, some people are very fond of it. I know people who love it. That's totally fine. But, all good. Have fun on your date, Bob. Enjoy yourself. I think I missed one then. There we go. Yay. I expect her to fail the next exam and for me to be able to use that as an excuse for her to do work herself. But, to my surprise, she passed. When I asked her how she did it, she said, "I guess your lessons helped," with the same cheeky grin that I've grown to love, and we decided to keep it up. It ended up being sessions that would become conversations with me doing her homework for her, and through those we became closer and closer. When I come back to myself from my thoughts, I see Emily looking at me smugly. Here goes. So, is there anyone you like right now? I instantly feel my cheeks burn and the beat of my heart begins to increase again. Why am I feeling like this? There isn't anyone I like, is there? No. Why do you ask? Emily smirks at me as I stumble those words out. Something about her smile makes me think that she knows something I don't. Or at least she thinks she does. Oh, that's boring. There must be someone. Emily, it's you. She likes you. Emily knows this. I think we all know this. Not really. Not since Sarah. That was so long ago, though. Sarah had been this girl I sat next to in math class. It had been a small crush at first, but it got to the point that I couldn't stop talking about her whenever I was alone with Emily. Nothing came of that crush, though. It's hard to when you see the person you like making out with David Smith, the most popular guy in our class, at the back of the school. Betrayal. Utter betrayal. We need to find you someone. Why? I'm not in any rush. Come on, life's more fun if you have someone. How would you know? You've never had a... It suddenly occurs to me that I don't know Emily's preference with partners. She's never once talked about a crush on someone or showed any interest in anyone. What do you like? You. Gay. This has gotten quite gay, and I'm liking it. That smile. Fuck. It's like, how long has she been waiting for that perfect moment to admit it? Gay to the point. Like, apparently I had to permit the word gayer around here. Fuck. It'll get gayer. How will this get gayer? We'll find out. The words leave her lips in a whisper, and her eyes have a longing to them that I am taken aback at how believable it is. Does she mean that? I open my mouth to respond, but no words come out. I can feel my mind starting to consider the idea, however, before it can properly. I see Emily's lips curl into a smile before she bursts into laughter. We'll ask Lily later. You should see your face. I can feel my cheeks burning up and I'm forced to look away from her. Rude! How could I fall for that so easily? But it did feel like she was telling the truth. That fucking grin. To answer you though, I don't really know what to classify myself as. There have never been that many people I've fallen for. This is like gender and sexuality spectrum, like, in a nutshell. A lot of people just don't know because they haven't been exposed to enough of the world and enough of what there is to know it for themselves. And one of my cats is trying to catch a fly in the window because they do that. Like, how do you... A lot of this time, you don't know this shit until a lot later when you finally meet the people and go, oh, hey, I'm into you. Oh. Or you meet someone and you go, hey, they talk about their gender or their sexuality in a way that makes sense to me. Holy shit, I might be that. Yeah. As our perspectives change and as we experience new things, we take shit out. Yeah, like, it took me a long time to figure out that I was trans, that I was non-binary. Like, which is stupid because I was writing shit about transitioning when I was like 16, but I didn't clue into it that I was trans. It took me, I think that's because I didn't know about non-binary and the idea of like transitioning and being a woman wasn't something that felt right for me. So, and that's all I saw when I was a teenager. Like up until my mid to late 20s, all I saw were if you transition, you go from A to B. Because you never get told there's a C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and just keeps going. So, you know. Figure out you're a weird lesbian. That's fair enough. We're all a little weird here. You've got 2 Godzillas? Not King of Godzilla. Ghidorahs? Nice. I only have 1 Ghidorah. Ghidorah's a bully, so I don't have that many. Alright, wonderful. I'll catch you next time. See ya. To answer you though, I don't really, but... Well then, I'm here to talk. Whenever. Shout out to 15-year-old you who crushed on a girl for 3.5 years and just deny about it. Catch him, Morel. I know you are. She shuffles on the bed, and I look back to see that she's moved closer to me so that our shoulders are touching. Have you ever thought about how weird love is as a concept? And that's the thing. Like, Emily could be Aro or Ace. Like, could be any of those. What do you mean? Well, look at it this way. You have two people who somehow find a connection so strong that they want to be together for the rest of their lives. But when you stop to think about it, there's really nothing more than close friends who choose to think of themselves as even closer. Yeah, very true. However, due to years and years of this, we use this magical word called love to make it something special so that we can justify the behavior. Okay, Emily's coming off as totally A-robe right now. That's kind of cool. When really all it comes down to is our descendants wanting to find someone attractive to fuck. Ah, good old classicist with romance. I like it. I'm not sure what to say. I've come to expect Emily to say something like this whenever we hang out, but it's very rare that she leaves me speechless with one of her statements. She isn't technically wrong, I guess, but it's quite a cynical way to view things. I don't think the concept of love is anything imaginary, is an imaginary thing, though. If you have someone that you really care about above everyone else, someone you think about more than anyone else, someone you want to spend your life with, that's a wonderful thing. It might have developed from our descendants wanting to, you know, but things are different now. I'm just trying to imagine what Rosie's hand movements would be for, you know. Even though some people see others based on their appearances, the ones that do see intimacy as that, they really do have something special between them and their partners. I don't think it's like as close friendship though. There's a reason that people can confess to people by saying, I want to be more than friends. There's something to being in a relationship that is more special than close friends. The horizontal tango. But I don't know how to dance the tango. Is that what you think, or what you've been made to think? Oh god, love is peer pressure. Fuck. I think a lot of us can say that kind of attitude, like, have fallen for the peer pressure attitude when it comes to love and sex, and it's just like, you don't have to do that. You got a bachelor in psych, but when on the receiving end of... Fair enough. The quadrilateral multi-dimensional cowboy dance. That one I'm acquainted with. Although I often need my portal gun to make it work properly, so, you know. I stared blankly, trying to come up with an answer to that question. How do I even answer that? Clearly seeing the conflict on my face, Emily begins to laugh and wave her hand dismissively in front of her face. You don't have to answer that. Don't worry. More than friends to say might be error. Rip, yeah. It's... Zikra, general point, if you're going to talk about stuff like that, please put a content warning and make sure people are fine talking about it, because not everyone is fine talking about that sort of stuff. I don't get her sometimes, but I also think that there's moments that make me want to be with her more. It's what makes Emily Emily. Thanks. I think it's back to how many times she's brought up some philosophical question completely out of the blue. It's something she does almost every time we hang out together, and like today, I usually have no idea how to truly answer her. I've asked her multiple times if she wants to be a philosopher, because she's be a really good one with the amount of time she spends thinking about things that could cause most people to have multiple existential crises. But she always dismisses me with a wave of her hand and says it doesn't fit her. We stay in silence for a while, my mind racing with ideas of what I do think about love and if I do believe what she said. Let's get something to eat. The statement catches me off guard and it takes me a second to process what she said. Sure. We're gonna eat your Oscar award. I look over and see Emily sitting back and up and starting to climb over me to get off the bed. Before I can stop her, I find myself looking into her eyes, her hands on the bed either side of my head and her legs straddling my own. Raggy. 9 years ago, 92, 62. Whoa. Yeah, this gay. Why does she look like she's about to kiss me? And why do I want her to? It gets even gayer. What the hell? Okay, we're up to some fun here. I can feel my cheeks buzzing and try to will myself to look away, but I couldn't find the strength to do so. The pull of her eyes is too much, and I can't help but lose myself in the beautiful hazel pupils above me. Wait. Irises? Pupils are the black bit, aren't they? The iris is the colored bit. Now I'm trying to remember my anatomy. Okay, that's going to be stuck in my head for a bit. A mix of sadness and frustration flashes across her eyes before immediately disappearing. After a brief pause, her lips curl into a smug grin and she rolls off me. Hey Rafe, how you doing? I take a few seconds, my breathing heavy as I realize that my body is burning up. I let my eyelids close and take a deep breath in. Why am I feeling like this? It doesn't make any sense. I feel my heartbeat slowing and my body starting to cool down, so I exhale and open my eyes. Pupil is a hole in the eye, but iris in fact the color. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Emily is standing next to her open closet, flicking through a few of the clothes in there. What are you doing? I sit up in bed and swing my legs over the side of it. I wanted to check something. She closes the door of the closet and turns back to me. If she holds up a red flannel shirt, then this game has truly reached peak gay. Shall we go have something to eat then? I got some pizzas out waiting to be heated up. Yeah, let's go. I stand up and wait for Emily to pass me before walking out of the room, following her downstairs to the kitchen. The kitchen, unlike Emily's bedroom, is at least clean and tidy. No red flannel shirt. Okay, we riot. Though I suppose that's because her mother looks after the place and not her. But it's at least nicer to walk into. Emily herself goes over to the fridge and takes out the pizzas and turns to face me. Ham and pineapple or pepperoni? Both. Duh. You should know that one of those two is an abomination. Emily smiles and sticks her tongue out at me playfully. And you should know that I will constantly tease your bad taste buds until they come around. Okay, I'm definitely on team Emily here because Rosie doesn't like Hawaiian pizzas. And not only doesn't like, but mocks them. Hawaiian pizzas are totally viable. Shaking my head in disapproval, I decide to leave her to it as I go over the wall of photos that decorate one of the walls of the kitchen. They are good. I had some really good one last night. Your figure was made in 2012, 50, so nice. Nice. I really need to build up my figure collection at some point, but I'm trying not to get too many of the same one. Unfortunately, half my collection is like Godzilla figures. It's like, there's too many Godzilla, I need to balance it out. It has pictures of Emily in all stages of her life, from kindergarten up till recently. Almost all of them striking the same awkward, I don't know what to do, I'll smile and hope this ends soon pose. I smile to myself as I compare it to the selfies we take together or that I see on her social media. Emily's a pro when it comes to taking selfies. I don't know how she does it, but in every single one she radiates the energy of a goddess. I think Rosie might be in love. Just a little bit. As soon as you start using words like goddess about someone, you're showing some slight signs of infatuation. She even manages to make me look good whenever we take them together, which is a complete miracle. Ugh, don't look at those. I hear her behind me, so turn to face her. Why not? Isn't it obvious? They don't even come close to capturing my pure natural beauty. Yeah, exactly. Kiryu figures are good. I need some. Whoops. She strikes the pose that all models love to do, with her body to the side, slight bend forwards, her head looking over me, over her shoulder, her face in the state of trying to say, "Aren't I so sexy?" I couldn't help but start to giggle as I looked at her. It looks ridiculous, although it's partly due to the overemphasis she's thrown in there. You missed something. Emily straightens up. What? The hours and hours of Photoshop needed to make that look anywhere near presentable. Come on, you loved it really. You keep telling yourself that. Yeah, Mechagodzilla's awesome. I love her dismissive way of trying and failing to hold in my laughter. The two of us continue joking around until the familiar smell of pizza fills the room and I can feel myself getting hungry. Are they nearly ready? Let me check. Emily goes over them and opens it, steam billowing out of it and hitting her in the face. I think they're done. Now I want my pizza. What are you telling me for then? I let my lips curl into a smile as I watch her reach into the oven twice and pull out our dinner, placing each onto a wooden board that's slightly too small for it. Get some plates out, please. She nods her head towards the cupboard that holds them, and I quickly rush over to it, picking out the top 2 plates and placing them down next to her. Emily sloppily slices 2 pizzas up into 8 completely different sized pizza slices before piling each one on its respective plate. I think we've all done that at some point. Just like, don't care about this even if it's just one pizza. Okay, this one's yours. She hands me the pepperoni one as we start back towards the stairs. Actually, let's eat in the lounge. Why there? Well, the TV's there. I look over at her and see her grinning from ear to ear. She has something planned, doesn't she? Reluctantly, I nod. Gigan with a chainsaw. Oh yeah, the Final Wars second version Gigan with the double chainsaw head. It's like, what the fuck? Japanese design is always over the top and I love it. Okay. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? I really don't trust her now, but I stupidly follow her anyway. We're sitting down on the couch and she reaches for the remote before pausing. Actually, I realized I forgot something. Before I can say anything, she's darted from the room and I can hear her running up the stairs. Oh, she's getting whatever it was from her cupboard. What is she up to? Soon enough, I hear her coming back down the stairs slightly slower than she ran up. When she rounds the corner, I see why. She's brought her bed covers down with her. Do we really need that? Of course we do. It wouldn't be very sleepovery if we didn't watch a movie while curled up under the covers. Does it matter? I sigh, which she takes as a sign of acceptance, and wraps the covers around the two of us. So, what are we watching? Emily chuckles to herself as TV flicks on as she scrolls through different movies available. I don't like this. Okay. Please be, but I'm a cheerleader. Or better than chocolate. Actually, I've got like a list. Any of those would be appropriate for this situation. King Caesar. Yeah. King Caesar is a really interesting design. And so is Megalon. Megalon kicks butt. I see her select a film and I don't even need to read the title. I can tell from the cover alone what kind of film it's gonna be. Street Fighter the movie. I feel my heart stop. Emily! What? Her face is smug with an I don't know what I'm doing expression to me. Hey. But Street Fighter the movie, fuck. Is that the one with Kylie Minogue and Raul, the guy who played Gomez in the Addams Family, the newer Addams Family movies? I think that was the newer Street Fighter one. You know I hate horror films. This one isn't bad, don't worry. Raul Julia, that's it. Oh. Vale. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, yep. Street Fighter, yeah, they were amazing. Like, Raul had such a talent. Like, no one else could have pulled off Bison. Like, yeah. This one isn't bad, don't worry. It's Godzilla. Please be Godzilla. I don't know. Come on, you trust me, don't you? The first Mortal Kombat movie was awesome, yes. You cosplayed as Sub-Zero with Raiden? Nice. I've actually got a cat called Raiden. I don't trust her at all, but I can tell she's not going to stop fighting this. Fine, but I'm choosing the next film we watch together. Emily grins and hits the play button. I immediately start to hear creepy music playing as a girl is shown running through a dark alley, constantly looking over her shoulder to the camera. Wait. I'm trying to think of what movie this is. You named your dog Akira? Nice. Tetsuo Akira! That, talking about good movies, that was so good. And the music of that one's great. I'm gonna hate this, aren't I? After a few seconds, the camera swoops in on the girl and I hear her scream as it cuts to black. That fucking face! That I have never seen any. I've never been more miserable to watch a movie, but I'm still in love face. Pomeranian named Akira? Fuck. Oh, this picture at the back, it's like the sun. I immediately jump and subconsciously clutch the covers tighter around me. The movie goes on and I find myself getting more and more scared, constantly fearing what's about to happen. I end up shifting so close to Emily that she must have put her arm around me for her to be comfortable. Her body feels warm and soft, and with the feeling of her arm around me, I start to feel safer, and for a moment, the movie doesn't seem so bad. That feeling doesn't last too long as the movie nears its climax and I end up burying my face against her body so that I can't see what happens on the screen. This has all been planned. Emily has planned all this in advance. She's a mastermind. Giant schnauzer named Ryder. Nice. The sound itself is still as scary though, and I can feel my heart racing as if the monster in the film is about to come out of the television. I try to block out all sounds as best I can until I hear everything fall silent. Wow. Cool. I look up and see the brown of Emily's eyes looking down at me, a mix of concern and apology flowing through them. I'm suddenly aware of how close we are. I had turned my back to the film partway through, and Maya were so close to facing each other, our faces only a couple of inches apart. I can feel my cheeks start to heat up as I find myself unable to look away from her eyes. I open my mouth to say something, but nothing comes out. Has she always looked so beautiful? I have a sudden urge to lean in and kiss her. What are you thinking? There's no way she'd want that. Yeah, I understand that. I think a lot of us have a habit of collecting things or making things that made our childhoods pleasant. Like, a lot of us did not have very, very lovely childhoods. Possibly as who we are, or like how the world saw us. And as a coping mechanism, that's totally valid. Like, I do the same things with games. I do the same things with my kaiju stuff. Like a lot of the reason that this is actually a pretty good segue. A lot of the reason that we see so many games like this is that We find ways to talk about our experiences, or how we wanted to see the world when we were younger, or how we wished we could have been through things, or just the things that feel right for us. And seeing people get to make those is a thing of beauty. Despite my mind saying over and over in my head that it's a bad idea, my body doesn't seem to listen. I see her close her eyes and I realize I'd subconsciously been leaning closer and closer. Ooh, we got a blush. Does it mean she wants to do this? Ask. Ask. Consent. Ask. Started making a child as I want to live somewhere else? Yeah. This is... You keep saying it'll get gayer, and you keep being right, so I'm very curious. My body has decided for me, and I close my eyes and could close the gap even further. I can feel heat coursing through my body as well as a nervous feeling. This is really gonna happen. Ow! A pain in my nose jolts my eyes open. I realize that neither of us had tilted our heads, and we'd ended up bumping our noses. Fuck. If that's not a gay experience, I don't know what is. Emily looks at me and starts to laugh. Let's clear up these dirty plates. Is she flustered? Before I have time to double check, she's out from under me and has disappeared from the room, taking the 2 plates of mostly eaten pizza to the kitchen. I collapse on the couch, my heartbeat finally starting to slow as I lie there. What was that? I close my eyes and try to remember the sensation of being up close to Emily. I can feel my cheeks still buzzing with nervousness as the feels of almost kissing my best friend played over in my head. Why did that feel so... I can't think of the correct word for it. It was a mix of scared, anticipation, excitement, and about 50 other emotions that I am struggling to think of the names for. Love. No. The overwhelmingness of it all made me turn and bury my head in the covers. My nostrils are filled with a scent that can only be described as Emily, and when it makes me feel similar feeling I did when I was in her arms while watching the movie. It's that when I notice a slightly different smell. There's a hint of lavender on the sheets, and I realize that I've been smelling the same smell whenever I've been near her all evening. Hunger. Yes, that's the feeling. Hunger. Is she wearing perfume? Throughout my years of knowing her, I had only known of 2 occasions of Emily wearing perfume. Both times it had been forced upon her by her mother for some formal event. Yeah, there's a lot of thirsty going on right now. I'm gonna have some tea because yes, the thirst is going around. Before I had any more time to think about things, I hear a voice from the entrance to the lounge. Do I have a Godzilla shirt? I have a Kaiju Stomp shirt. That's from a game company in Australia. I don't think I have a specifically Godzilla shirt. I need to get one at some point. Do you think you could bring those up with you? I sit and look over at her. I see a light color to her cheeks and she doesn't seem to want to make eye contact with me. Sure. Thanks. She disappears from the doorway and I hear footsteps on the stairs. Something's up with her. I wrap the covers around myself and I'm about to start heading towards the stairs when I look over at the television. The film is paused right in the middle of a chase scene. She paused it before it finished. Did she do that for me? I feel my lips curling into a smile as I look at the ceiling, where Emily's bedroom lies on the other side. I mouth the words, "Thank you," to her before closing my eyes and picturing her in my mind. I think. I shake my head as I start the thought. No, I don't think. I know. My smile widens as I open my lips slightly. Emily, I like you. Like. What do you think? Is it a like, or is it a like, or is it a like? Like, where are we up at this point? The words are a whisper, so there's no chance you'll hear them, but I can't help but feel the rush of excitement as it leaves my lips. And I'm pretty sure you like me too. I bring the covers up to my face as I smell the scent and Emily and lavender once more, my body surging with confidence as I make my way to the stairs. As I climb, get gay out, then stay like that, then it'll be cute. It's already cute. As I climb, my mind is filled with memories of the two of us that start to make more sense after my revelation. The constant nervousness that I feel around her has always been my body telling me that I have a crush on her. The look on her face when I used to gush about Sarah, I'd always thought that it had been disinterest because of how much I'd been talking about her, but it had been pain. Cute her. That's fair enough. She'd had to listen to someone she liked talking about someone else that she wished they would talk about her. The moment earlier when she told me she liked me, that was so believable because it was true. Then she looked like she was about to kiss me. The look of disappointment was because she wanted to. Everything about the teasing tonight, the teasing over the past few weeks, the teasing over the past few years, she's been trying to make me realize what I finally have. Oh, I'm so sorry, Emily. You've been so much pain because I'm so stupid. I look at the door to her room, the nervousness that's become such a common feeling for me recently, now bubbling up into excitement. Okay, now I need to tell her directly. When I get to her room, Emily is lying down on her bed, her gaze fixed on the ceiling above her. I can't help but watch her for a few seconds, admiring the beauty in her that I'd never truly let myself see before. She doesn't seem to have noticed me, so I unwrap the covers from around me, spread my arms wide, walk silently close to the bed and throw them on her. Wow! Luigi! There's a lot of difference in accents. Like, especially, there's a lot of difference in English accents, a lot of difference in Australian accents. So, like, Australian can have can be quite clear, like mine. I don't have very much of an accent. And then you move further into the outback, and you kind of, you lift your voice more up into the top of your mouth, and you drag your words out a little, and then you end all your words in a vowel, like Maccas and Bazza and things like that, and it's a little more guttural. It's like goes around the top of your throat when you speak it. New Zealand, I've never been particularly good at accent wise. Same with South African actually. That's another one I've had hard time with. English, you've got like dozens of accents. Like you've got Northern England, you've got like Liverpool area and Glasgow area and everything. I was like, I don't know, Glasgow is British. Yeah. But yeah, accents are weird. She starts flailing about her covers until eventually her head appears from the side and looks up at me. I can't help but burst into laughter at how hilarious it looks. In Reading, yeah, that's another area, which probably has its own accent. What was that for? The film. I'm sorry, I didn't think it was that bad. Come on, you should know I'm terrible with horror movies. She repositions on the bed so that she's sitting up with her bottom half under the covers and back to the wall. Okay, Kate Bush has an amazing accent. Can you forgive me? She has a sarcastic tone to her voice and her familiar smug grin. I'll think about it. I join her on the bed, sitting down at the end and lying back so my head is resting on her legs and I'm looking up at her face. Emily looks down at me and we stay there in silence, a longing look in her eyes, watching me as if she can read my thoughts. If I'm not completely wrong about your feelings, then I want you to kiss me properly. I know she can't tell what I'm thinking, but I'm not ready to say those words themselves yet. Okay, I've thought about it. I won't forgive you. I'm hurt. She makes an exaggerated, shocked expression before her hand reaches over and brushes a strand of my hair from my face, and her expression turns to a more serious one. I suddenly feel the pace of my heartbeat increase, and I can feel the familiar feeling of blood my cheeks blushing. Oh, they're both blushing now. We're getting there. Her hand comes to rest on my cheek, a soft thumb brushing against my skin. It's then she leans down and, as if she could read my thoughts my entire time, presses her lips against mine. It happened so fast that I barely have time to process what's happening till it's over. She kissed me. I have an urge to bring my hand up to touch my lips, but then I try to. I find my body frozen in place. I look up at her face, which is only a few inches above mine. Her eyes are closed and her lips are still pressed together and slightly pushed out. How about now? I blink at her, unsure what she's talking about. Huh? Do you forgive me now? How do I even react to that? I close my eyes and take a deep breath, allowing myself a few seconds to compose myself. I might be able to be convinced too. I hear shuffling and can feel her legs moving underneath my head. I lift my body up slightly and the next thing I know I'm lying back on the bed, my eyes open to see Emily hovering above me, her arms and legs on either side of my own. And how might I be able to do that? I match her gaze and feel myself smiling. I'm sure you can think of a way. Her hand reaches down to cup my cheek once more and I close my eyes as she does. This time, I'm going to be ready for it. As much as I tell myself that I'm ready for what's about to happen, there's no way that I can be ready for what I experience next. I can feel her movements on the bed telling me that she's getting closer. I feel a rush of what could be nervousness and excitement I can't tell. The next thing I feel is a warm feeling on my lips, which, helped with the fact that I can hear her exhaling next to me, I realize is probably her breath. I picked up the familiar scent of Emily mixed with her lavender perfume as I start to realize how real this whole thing is. We're about to kiss. My heart is racing so fast that I couldn't count its beats even if I wanted to. Then it happens. I can feel her soft lips against mine. A spark of what can only be described as electricity shoots through my body. I feel myself being absorbed into the kiss as if the rest of the world has dissolved around us, leaving nothing but the kiss and the two of us. I feel her lips brushing gently over my own, the touch of her thumb brushing against my cheek, the intimacy of our bodies being closer together. Everything I can think about is all her. How I never want this kiss to end, how I can smell the comforting scent of her, how can I hear nothing but the two of us in this moment together. It's perfect. I never felt happier in my entire life. Unfortunately, it does come to an end, and I can feel myself longing for another kiss. I open my eyes to see her face hovering above my own, her brown eyes staring leveling down on my own. I forgive you. Emily's lips crack into a wide smile as she collapses on top of me. It'll stay on this gay level until the end. Nice. This is a good, comfortable level of gay going on here. We have reached peak gay, yeah. We've reached the top of the bell curve that is gay. And now we will just kind of sit along there until the end. I should hope so after that. Is now a good time to say that I think I like you? She lets out an uncharacteristically cute giggle when she hears this, her cheeks starting to blush slightly. Peak Emily, yeah. I know, I've probably known longer than you have. I look at her confused for a few seconds before I piece together the puzzle in my head. We stay in each other's arms, neither wanting to break the contact as we lie down. I can't help but get lost in her eyes. After what feels like hours, Emily starts to move. Hey, I think we should get ready for bed. Yeah, gay culture is totally saying I like you after you've kissed. I spy a clock in the corner of the room since it's past midnight already. Wow, I didn't think it was that late. I'm assuming you don't mind sharing the bed? She nods at me smugly as if knowing the answer already, and I nod in response, my cheeks blushing slightly as I do. She really does know me well. We spend the next hour half an hour getting ready for bed. When I return to Emily's bedroom, I find her lying down in it, facing me and holding the covers open. Come on, it'll get cold without you. Oh, Emily's so sweet. I let out a nervous giggle before slipping under the covers to face her. So, anticipation fills my body as I look at the compassionate look in her eyes. What is she gonna say? She's not going to... This is good night. I get a look at her cheeks, which appear to be on fire with how much she's blushing. However, it's not long before she leans forward and presses a kiss to my lips. It's only a brief kiss, but it does make me feel as good as the previous one did, and I can't help but smile when she turns to face the opposite wall. I reach out to her briefly and I can't stop my hand midway. I think she wants to rest. I turn my face the opposite direction and let my eyes close, waiting for her to take me. My eyes flutter open to sunlight hitting them. I shuffle up on the bed and sit up, stretching my arms as I let out a yawn. I expect to hear Emily next to me, but instead, I'm greeted by silence. I turn to see an empty space in the bed beside me. It was a dream the whole time. Please don't be a dream the whole time. Please don't be a dream the whole time. I don't need any of this Greek ending to a story thing that we got filled in with media. Huh? Strange. She's always a late sleeper. Emily? I wait for a response, but I hear nothing in reply. Is everything okay? My feet touch the floor as I stand up from the bed. Something about this sensation feels weird to me. Freaking Jet Jaguar. Interesting character, that one. Something about... Emily! There's still no response, so I fling the door into her bedroom open and start looking around the house. The dream of love. Emily was a fae the whole time. I check the bedroom. Nothing. Nice plant picture. Her parents' bedroom? Nothing. The kitchen? Nothing. The lounge? Nothing. Everywhere? Nothing. She's hiding under the couch cushions. It's always fake. No, I reckon she's hiding behind the umbrella stand. I've played these games before. Like, we've got to move the umbrella out of the way and she'll be there. Yeah, it's always goddamn Faye. Emily, this isn't funny. Where are you? No answer. Where is she? Without any ideas, I swing open the front door. There she is. Standing in the middle of the street. Emily? She doesn't seem to be able to hear me. I look to the left and see a car heading towards me, towards Emily. Get out of the road! My body is frozen in place. I can't run to her to save. I can't save her. She's going to get hit. I avert my eyes. I can't watch this. I hear a scream. My eyes fly open, sit up in bed. The covers falling to my lap immediately. The double, it was just a dream. Shocking. I like it. Sweat runs down my forehead and my breathing is heavy. I look to my side to see Emily lying there, her eyes filled with worry as she looks up at me. Rosie, what's wrong? The words don't form in my mouth fast enough, so I lean down and kiss her. Please don't leave me. I won't. Don't worry. She wraps her arms around me and pulls my head toward her chest, her hand stroking the back of my head. Everything's gonna be okay. I shuffle closer to her, accepting myself in her embrace. Did you have a nightmare? I nod into her chest, unable to do anything but listen to the sound of her heart rhythmically beating in her chest. She's alive. It was all a dream. That's all that matters. Sorry, that dream was horrible. Don't worry about it. I'm right here with you. Nothing will happen. The words feel magical to hear, and I can't help but shuffle even closer to her, fully believing every word she says. I'm going to assume that this is a Godzilla poster or something up here in the top right hand corner. That like looks like some kind of giant monster mouth going on there. Hey Emily, do you want to be my girlfriend? Of course I do. She sounds so excited to hear the words as if I had said something she's been waiting to hear for years, which, now that I think about it, might be the case. I mean, it explains why she's been so cynical about relationships this whole time, where it's like, it's a Godzilla poster? Good. Like, you're hanging out with this person for years that you've got a crush on for, like, years, and your subtle hints haven't been working. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I like you. She shifts down on the bed so that her face is level with my own and stares into my eyes. I will be your girlfriend from now until the end of time. I can't stop myself from leaning forward and claiming her lips with my own once more. The same spark of excitement is there as our first kiss, and I find myself wrapping my arms around her to pull her closer as our bodies close together. Her own arms hooking around my neck as I do this. By the time we pull away, we are left panting for breath. I don't want to let you go. Then don't. I see her smile as she presses her forehead against mine, closing her eyes and tightening her arms around me. Oh, here's up. My head tilts forward slightly to give her a peck on the lips before I return to our original position and close my eyes. I could get used to falling asleep in your arms. Good, because it's gonna happen a lot more from now on. Nothing else needs to be said as we start to relax and let sleep take us over. My final thought before I fall asleep is the most comforting thing I've had in a long time. I can tell this is going to be the start of something amazing, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. The end. Feels. I am having feels. That was gorgeous. Yeah. I loved it. That was beautiful. So that was the start of something amazing, and that was, as it said, something amazing. Highly recommend you go check it out. It's a kinetic story. It's just the story, but it is beautiful and it is emotional and wonderful, and I have a lot of love for it already. And that is available, as you can see up the top there, tangledvirus.itch.io. Go check it out. Throw some support their way, because it takes a lot of heart to make something like this. To make a game, or to make a novel with so much heart, it takes a lot out of a person. So this was beautiful. Alright, let's switch back to here as we get our second game. Whoop. And for this I'm gonna have to find my Steam. It always throws me when I find these games and they aren't on itch. Like, they aren't just on itch. I'm used to them just being on itch.io. And then someone sends me a link and go, oh yeah, this game's on Steam. And I'm like, who puts games on Steam anymore? So Guru Lily did an amazing job. Oh good, I'll be back. I'll be on for about another hour or two. See how we go. Boom, 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 boom. So, next game. Next up, we are returning to As We Know It by Jamie Scribble's Games. And we're gonna switch over to that in a sec. Where were we last time? We were... Switch over to that. And... There we go. See ya! That was awesome. You have a great week too. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Alright. So let's see, where are we up to on As We Know It? So, for those who weren't here last time, As We Know It is a visual novel essentially based in a Fallout-style bunker. Alright, we're still doing the open house stuff. Yeah, so we have moved into a bunker with our mother, and we are 58. We are on day 3. We haven't picked an occupation yet. Who were our options here? So there are 4 romance options. Eva, who is a very, very top energy security guard. There's Gloria, who is wonderful and bubbly and public relations community manager, I think, if I remember. Jude was the farmer, and Mikar was the doctor. Personal preference is going to be either Eva or Gloria, so I'm not sure where we're going to head for that one. We'll figure it out as we go. So, I believe we were just starting day 4. Yes. Is that all good? Yeah, that should be fine. Ugh. I opened my eyes and stared up at the ceiling. There was stillness in the room, so Mum had likely left. I knew there was almost nothing to do until the career open houses. It made me feel nervous. Yeah. I'm kind of on the Eva ship right now. Yeah, we know this. Can't help it. Mum had probably gone to the community center for coffee and a chance to see the mayor. I might as well get myself a cup before I start to aimlessly explore Camden. Oh yeah, the mother had, like, immediately started romancing the mayor, which was fantastic. I ate until I wasn't hungry, got dressed and savored the chilled water. Part of me wanted to get used to this new life. The other part wanted to avoid it. What would happen if this didn't last? We could get kicked out. I'd heard of it happening. I needed to hurry if I wanted warm coffee. Alright, our character. I love our character. I grabbed a coffee and stood near the back of the room. I spotted Mum. She was chatting happily with My lamp just dropped. Well done, lamp. The mayor not far away. Something had my mother very excited, but I wasn't sure what. She would tell me as soon as she got a chance, though. I was sure. I'm gonna fix that lamp, just a sec. What? Alright. Silly lamp. Lamps don't belong on the floor. Finished my cup of coffee and glanced at the exit. It was getting busier in here, louder. Time to go. It didn't take long for me to meet Mum's eyes. I waved and she returned the gesture. With that accomplished, I turned and retreated into the halls. I stepped down the hallway, eerily quiet except for the noise bleeding from the community center and the hum of neon lights. I leaned against the cool wall and tried to steady my breathing. What the hell was wrong with me? Felt like my skin was crawling. The door opened and the noise escalated briefly. I looked over and saw Jude emerge. Our eyes met. He nodded as a greeting and began to walk away. We'll go home. I shook off the weird urge to follow him and headed home. Whatever was making me antsy could go away if I took a nap. I still had time before open houses. I sat on my bed and savored the quiet. I looked around at the room and felt a heavy sadness settle over me, my breath shuddering as I felt tears coming. I buried my face in my hands and let the emotions crash over me. I knew I'd feel better if I didn't fight it. There were too many emotions dancing through my heart, all of them confusing. After a few minutes I felt lighter, but also really tired. I curled up in my bed and hoped Mum would wake me if I fell asleep. I was done with the day, but I still need to go to an open house. I'd only dozed for a few minutes when Mum woke me up. Now I need to go to the community centre for their open house. When I walked in, I could see that this open house was very popular. There were a lot of people here milling about. Gloria! Gloria saw me and came up to me. Her movements were graceful, but her smile looked off. Are you interested in working in community affairs? We have the most fun. We get to put together all of the events, and we are the ones who keep Camden running smoothly. I mean, Gloria is amazing, and she has the purple streak that I used to have, so that does make me very fond of her. Like, I love that the characters are, in their way, very color-coded in their themes. Like, Gloria is very purple, Jude is very much that flannel theme, Eva is the green and black. We facilitate communication between Camden and other cities. We help maintain inventories and broker trade. Lots of fun stuff that sounds dull, promise. She motioned for all of us to sit. She continued on with the whole spiel. I realized she hadn't been talking only to me, so I sat down and listened. Gloria outlined a typical day and the various things and new people would be in charge of. As she spoke, the mayor walked by quietly, but immediately pulled attention away from Gloria. Please ignore me. And the mayor, with his very strong, his big white, commanding presence in a way, but I do love the tinge of green. What? Please ignore me. Nonsense, you're an integral part of the community affairs after all. No, it's day related, it's digital diversity. The podcast really went really well, thanks for asking. It seems to be relatively positively received. Haven't gotten a huge amount of feedback for it, but it's only the first day. Like, I think it's only like just day 2 for that. But had some really positive response from it, and yeah, I'm really keen to see how it goes longer term. Definitely looking at getting some music for it later down the line. We've got guests lined up, we've got themes lined up, we've got like everything sorted out. The pilot was just the get through this initial nervousness and go from there. So I'm just like super keen. It all seemed to go pretty positively. But yeah, it was good. I'm happy it went the way it did. So if you want to check out the podcast yourself, the pilot episode of the Digital Diversity podcast, it is up at digitaldiversity.buzzsprout.com. And that has links to the Stitcher and the Spotify. It's just introducing what the project is, what we're doing, and what we're like, where we come from in all this. So yeah, really keen to see how it all turns out. So that's going to be every month. So need to get another blog done first, but so should be next week or the week after is the blog. Then 2 weeks after that is the podcast. So it'll be at least one blog, one podcast every month. She waved him over and he stood to stand beside her. While working in community affairs, you'll be working close with our beloved mayor. I need a strong team behind me to help cultivate what kind of society we all dream of. A society of giant monsters, their scaly forms stretching to the sky as their roars tremble the ground beneath us. Is that the kind of society I can get? I'm just checking. I need to know if I belong in this vault or another vault. Gloria nodded, but I thought I saw her eye twitch. Yes, and that takes a lot of work. Fun work. Rick and Gloria started the outline and explained various job tasks, but their energy was very tense. When it was over, everyone dispersed. The mayor was quickly surrounded. Gloria began to adjust things that had been left on the table. Hey Gloria. Good evening, Kaiju. Did you have any questions about working in this department? She looked up and smiled at me, but it was forced. Maybe I should say something about the mayor. Be blunt. Not really, I just noticed some tension between you and our mayor. What? No, we work together very well. Her smile became even more forced. You just seemed a little annoyed. I'm just tired. I had an early morning. She glanced towards the door and I noticed a lot of people had left. I'll see you around, alright, Kaiju? Alright, get some rest. I took the hint and left. So we haven't yet made progress with anyone, but we haven't started. I think Jude might be the last one. I don't think we've already done Jude, have we? Mum woke me up with a strange idea. Let's go walk at the gym. What? They have a track and stuff. Let's go check it out. But she pushed a cup of coffee into my hands. Here. I looked down at it and blinked slowly. Oh, okay then, I guess. Great. I sighed, got ready and followed, sipping the coffee as carefully as I did. I love the backgrounds in this. Like, all the assets in this game are gorgeous. Like, the music is very soft and gentle in the background. The assets are they're clear, but they have a sense of, a feeling of use, of utilitarian use. So, like, everything was made to last, but things have been, like, slowly wearing down over time. And that's an aesthetic I really love. Like, the feeling of consistent use of something, of wearing away of something that's very practical is a fantastic. You see that inside like a lot of the older Star Wars stuff, like the old Millennium Falcon and stuff, like how there's just wires everywhere and there's the metal scratched and stuff like that. It's like this is a workhorse of a vehicle and people have worked it, but they love it at the same time. I walked into the gym with Mum and noticed the rows of workout equipment. There were windows that overlooked the greenhouses, giving the room a luxurious feel. The jogging track looked inviting, and I would get close to the windows as I walked. Oh, they've got those, the martial arts training things. I have no idea what to call them. I've probably been told once in my life, and I cannot remember now. I think I'll just walk around the track. What about you? I am in, I'm in terrible shape. I'll just walk too. I had no desire to get sweaty and winded right now. As we start walking along the track, a gigantic man and a small girl walked in. Hey, you're going the wrong way. I love that he's so tall that he's almost clipping out the top of the screen. And she has so much attitude, it's great. Oh, and he dresses to the right. And when I stopped and looked over at him, it was the head of security. You're supposed to go clockwise. He pointed up at a small sign that said as much. I hadn't noticed it before. Dad, stop. You are so embarrassing. Thanks for letting us know. Kaiju, right? I recognize you from our open house. I nodded, though I was surprised he'd remembered me. There must have been a ton of people there that night. This is my daughter, Tabitha. Sorry to interrupt your workout. I just don't want to see anyone get hurt. From going the wrong way on the track? People come here and zone out and run into each other. Sounds crazy, but I've seen it happen. He shrugged his massive shoulders. It's nice that you come here with your daughter. She squeezed me closer. I'm Camilla, Kaiju's mother. It's nice to see more people at the gym. You ladies have a great workout. He smiled and his daughter began to desperately pull him towards the weights. Mom and I resumed walking, this time in the proper direction. He seemed nice. Yeah, I'm glad you told us about the rule. Now we don't look like assholes to everyone else who walks in. Fuck authority, we're gonna walk anti-clockwise around this track just to screw with them. Down with the overseer. After walking a bit, I gave up and sat on a bench overlooking the greenhouse. It just made me hungry. Mom was finished, we headed back home. She seemed to have more energy now. When we arrived at home, we made lunch. Since we had a bit of time to kill before the next open house, we sat around and read our books. It was nice not to have to worry about anything happening while we relaxed. Any idea what you're going to sign up to do? Maybe. It's a mission that's hard to get, so I don't want to tell you and jinx it. Really? Haven't you been going to the open houses? Yeah, I have a backup plan. She shrugged and turned away from me. I still felt curious, but let it go. She would tell me eventually. She wants to be the assistant man. Anyway, it's time to head to the next open house. Yeah, she knows what she wants. She wants power, and she knows how to get it. Like, she's a very practical woman. And if she likes men at the top, good for her. That mayor seems like he needs someone to put their thumb on him to keep him under control. Trinosaur was the last one I had any interest in. I picked the ones I thought I would like. Tomorrow was the Camden Career Fair. I'd have to make a choice. The air was warm and wet, very wet. There was green everywhere, and I looked, it almost took my breath away. The smell, a strange earthy scent mixed with produce and fertilizer, it was strong. I was so distracted I hadn't noticed him come up to me until he snapped his rubber band. Hey! Oh, you startled me. I like that. Doom. 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 I'd like to know the scripting for that. Just the slight jump and jiggle. Like, always curious about how the scripting's done with that sort of thing in Renpai. Really? He snapped the rubber band against his wrist, then twisted it around his fingers. So it's nice working here and stuff. Brian's over there. He pointed towards Brian, who I had met the other day at the library. So you just want to look at the greenhouse, or do you want to actually work here? Just wanted to see what it was like. I'm curious, sure. I need a job though. Let me show you around. Brian is busy doing Brian stuff. Brian stuff? Don't ask, he's not a bad guy. He's easily distracted and kinda useless. Tell me how you really feel. Jude began to lead me through the greenhouse and showed me where all the workstations were. So a lot more paperwork than I realized. Lots of things to check and double check. I wouldn't be harvesting anything, at least not until I had been there a while. Apparently they had to deal with thieves from time to time. There was even a black market for some narcotic plants. Oh, come on. You have a place like that, you're gonna have someone growing green. Just saying. Like, as a measured, decriminalized medicinal supply. Like, just saying. It's a vertical garden. It doesn't need sun or soil. We use special lighting, and I've lost you. No. All you'd have to do if you want to work here is clean, fill out paperwork, and make sure everything is running like it should. Doesn't sound so bad. It isn't. Why should I work here over anywhere else, though? You get to listen to music I pick out. You don't have to deal with a lot of people. It's pretty peaceful around here, actually. You don't get a bunch of free food or anything, and I'm not playing music. You can hear the constant hum from machines over in maintenance. He pointed over behind him and I noticed the noise. The sound wasn't so obtrusive, but maybe if you went deeper into the greenhouse it would be. Too bad about the free food, though I guess everyone would be working here if that was true. I guess you should go and sit and listen to Brian's pitch. He'll be about to start soon. Alright, see ya. I'll go see what he has to say. Maybe it'll be riveting. Yeah, see ya. I mean, I'm sure he has a lot of personality, but he's just a little too low-key for me. I sat with the other newcomers and listened to Brian list off a lot of same information Judy just told me, with a lot of jumping around and extra details added in. It was hard to follow what he was saying, and I couldn't help but daydream to cut the boredom. Yeah. Finally, he stopped talking. He started to sidestep as if wanting to escape. Then he was gone, like Kaiser Sose. With the event over, I made my way back home. I liked the greenhouse, but it was muggy and hot. Brian didn't seem to like he'd be great to work for either. Jude didn't seem so bad though. Mom was in bed reading, and I was looking through our books to see what to read when there was a buzz at the door. I opened the door and saw Eva in the hallway. Eva, Eva, Eva. Sorry, I know it's late. We're just making the rounds, and I thought I'd check in with you guys and make sure everything was going good. I bit my lip and tried to respond. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Mum called out a greeting from her spot on the bed. She must have been preoccupied with her book. You sure? I'm feeling stressed out. Honestly, I'm a bit stressed, I guess. There's just a lot going on, you know. She paused and looked over me for a moment. Yeah, I guess it's a lot to think about. Big choices and stuff. She glanced around the hall. Hey, come on. Aren't you working? She shrugged. It's fine. Come on. I shrugged and followed her. I looked back at Mum before closing the door, and she waved with her face still hidden behind the book. She led me through the halls, and we ended up at the entrance. Why are we here? It's nice and quiet. I thought maybe you'd like to think. Clear your head. Thanks for bringing me here. It does feel very isolated. But that's good, right? In a way. I mean, it's not like I'm alone. I smiled at her and kicked some of the sand on the ground. So you're trying to figure out which career to sign up for? Yeah, and I know which career you think I should do. She smiled, looked away, and scratched behind her ear. No, I mean, whatever you choose, I'm sure it'll be great. Thanks, Eva. She laughed. So, I should get back, but you can hang out here for a bit. If anyone comes and asks you, just say you got lost. Okay, thanks. She blushed and backed up a few steps. Yep, yeah, I'll, see you later. Like, I'll take any job that gives me that awesome bolero jacket, because that thing looks fantastic. She left, sending me a final look before vanishing. I took a deep breath of dusty, warm air. It was a good reminder of why I'd wanted to come to Camden in the first place. I was down here, safe and out of the sun. The only thing I needed to do now was take my place in this society and work. That wouldn't be so hard. If I could survive the surface, I could do this. I headed back home. Eva hot! Eva hot! Achievement unlocked. First heart. Did you play this one through this one, Dries? Who did you ended up romancing Gloria, didn't you? Today was the day. I opened my eyes slowly while Mum hummed and danced around the room. I know you're awake. You may as well get up and get dressed. If I must. Mum only laughed at me and went back to humming. You did some beta testing? Nice. I forced a smile. It isn't like this I had a choice. I either get a job or get out. Well, you should play the full game. Who would you go for, though? I'm curious. You've been here through what we've played so far. Torn between Eva and Gloria, right? Like, I like the shy but a little bit assertive from Eva. Gloria seems very personable, very, very light, and like there's a lot going on underneath that, but a very bright personality, and I like them both. They're really good. Even because you like the immediate attraction. Yeah, right? You're in a good mood, really good mood this morning. I'm looking forward to the festival. They're gonna have lots of food and playing music, and it'll be all decorated. Really? How do you know? Mum shrugged, a knowing smile tugged at her features. I've just heard, you know. Everyone's been talking about it. Yeah, we know you've been talking to the mayor. I sighed and tried to get myself clean and dressed, but my hands shook a bit. There was a crackle and the intercom lit up. There was an announcement that the community center was ready for everyone, so we headed out. The place was considerably busier than it had been. Mum was right though. The music played in the room and there was food and coffee set out. Gloria, because she seems like a nice person, is keeping up a bright face. Yeah, like, it seems like she's struggling with some stuff, but would really appreciate someone in her life at the same time. That's what I love about games like this, when you've got a bunch of different romanceable options in a well-crafted game. Because I've played plenty of these, like plenty of visual novels that are very shallow, but pretty much every single one I've played on Digital Diversity has been far deeper than I'd expected. Even if I go in expecting it to be quite deep. And like having to struggling a little to decide who you would like to romance, because you can see that there's a lot going on there and you want to know about all of them. It's just like, this seems like a good thing and I want to make more of it. I want to do more of it, play more of it. Newcomers milled about, but I noticed other residents hanging out as well. Everyone seemed to be in pretty good spirits despite the underlying obligation. Several departments had stations where you could sign up for a career. The four I'd investigated were no different. Everything was really loud and the noise echoed off the walls. Fucking fantastic expression. I wasn't quite ready to sign up for something, so I looked around and see if I could find someone to talk to. Eva. Eva leaned up against a wall near the security sign up. She was smiling and chatting happily with other people. I began to approach and she saw me. She moved away from the others. She still had a smile, but it was softer than before. I was wondering when I would see you. You were looking for me? Of course. I wanted to see what you'd sign up for. Don't worry, if you don't choose security, we can still, hang out and stuff. She rubbed the back of her head and looked away. We do have a lot of free time. Yeah, I like to spend my time at the gym. She flexed and smirked at me. I love this, like, totally unsubtle flirting that Eva's got going here. Like, there's such big queer energy happening right now and I love it. Like, shaggy hair but also like half flexing at the same time. I have to keep in shape. Sometimes guys don't take me seriously as a security officer, so I gotta show them how to take me seriously. Or else. She laughed. It was a boisterous sound. Well, I take you seriously. You should come by sometime. I could teach you self-defense tactics. I know it's supposed to be safe in here at all, but it couldn't help me to prepare to defend myself. Exactly. Anyway, I just ate, but I'm already hungry again. Want me to grab you something, while I grab something in a second? Sure, coffee would be great. How do you like your coffee? I don't like coffee. Lots of sugar and cream. The sweeter the better. I like my coffee with sugar and cream. Got it. I prefer tea, but ooh. Okay, tea is an option? Hell yeah. The all-knowing voice, yes you do. Fuck. I love that you've got a default. So like if you say I don't like coffee, it's yes you do. The illusion of choice. I love it. It makes me happy. Fuck it. Let's go that way. Got it. I prefer tea, but a cup of coffee usually actually sounds pretty good right now. Oh yeah? Spend enough time with me and I'll convert you to coffee addict. This is weird because I don't drink coffee at all. Maybe. She shrugged but smiled and walked off to grab some snacks and coffee. When she returned, she had a plate overflowing with food and a coffee cup she held out to me. Hungry? Always. Plus I can't cook worth a damn, so I love it when they have food. I can't cook either, but everything tastes better down here. It's the greenhouses, they're a miracle in the best part of Camden. She began to eat and I sipped at my coffee. She had managed to make it just the way I liked, and I thanked it for it. Eva smiled, but continued to eat. We spoke about the festival and the food while she ate and I drank. I looked over at all the sign-up sheets, time to pick something and get it over with. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Security. I signed up for security. I may need to brush up on my fitness. Choice made. Now I want to find Mum. I should let her know. I was also curious about what she had signed up for. Finally, I saw her, of all places. She stood beside the mayor. Of course she did. I decided to wait to approach. I didn't have the energy for Mayor Davidson. It required too much mental effort for me, and I already felt pretty drained. Unfortunately, Mum saw me and they both approached. Why was the mayor coming too? Did you sign up for something? Yeah, security. The man nodded his head in approval. I'm sure you'll do well in that department. What about you, Mum? I honestly had no idea. She hadn't done anything but hint about it. I'm going to work for the mayor! Who'd have thought? What? As my personal assistant. It's past time I had one. With our growing population, I could use another hand to help with the management aspects. Didn't take her long. I looked between them, not sure what to say. I didn't realize that was a career option. It wasn't. I offered it to Carmilla personally. Of course you did. Of course you did. The more we got talking, the more I seemed to be a perfect fit for it. And I just love that I'll be personally helping the community like this. Yeah, she's a speedrunner. Like, I've never seen someone speedrun to overseer so quickly. Like, she's what, 4 days in and she's already up to overseer's assistant? All she needs is one convenient wall glitch and she'll be running this place. She was beaming, so I smiled back at her. The mayor stood confidently, a friendly smile on his face, his stupid face. No, that's not fair. Mum was thrilled, and perhaps the mayor just wanted someone chipper around to bring him drinks and pens or something. This was fine. Totally fine. Everything is fine. That sounds really cool. I glanced around the room at this new community that I was now part of. Almost everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. It seemed all the newcomers had signed up for positions. There was no need for me to stick around, even though the celebration didn't seem to be winding down anytime soon. I could try and stay and socialize or go home and relax. Let's go home and relax. I was tired, I wanted to go home, the sooner the better. I'd never been around so many people so often on the surface. It was overwhelming, but Mum seemed completely comfortable with the change. It made me wonder if something was wrong with me. She was fitting in so well, I felt so out of place. I made excuse to Mum and the mayor and I left. I needed some peace and quiet. I crawled into bed and went to sleep. The morning went by slowly. I got dressed, ate, and then just sat around for a while. My mind was reeling from everything that happened in the past few days. Today was my last day before I started working at my new job. I considered one of Mum's romance novels for the moment, but the crackle of the intercom made me jump. Good afternoon, everybody. We are now hosting several games at the community center. Board games, card games, you name it. Non-essential personnel are free to participate, as are all residents who are not otherwise preoccupied. With a jarring snap of the speaker's shutoff, I was left with a choice. Read Sexy Man number 5, or check out whatever was going on in the community center. Community center. There was bound to be something interesting to do. Anything was better than sitting in this small room all day. I was starting to look forward to my new job. At least it would be something to do. The hallways weren't too busy. Maybe a lot of people had decided to stay in their rooms, or maybe they were at the community center. When I walked into the community center, I didn't see too many people. I thought it would be packed, but it wasn't. The few people who were here were standing around in small groups. They're gonna play Magic the Gathering. One table of Magic the Gathering, one table of Yu-Gi-Oh! And never the two shall mix. There were a dozen or so tables set out with things to pass the time. Snacks had been provided where they typically offered coffee. Mum was sitting at a small table playing some type of card game. I knew she would be there. There were a few people at the corner shouting and laughing. There appeared to be an arm wrestling. Another table had some odd looking board games I'd never seen before. Then there were charades. I could see a small cluster of people miming and laughing about something. I felt more interested in checking out the noisier areas so I could just quietly listen. They probably wouldn't notice if I wanted to sneak away either. Arm wrestle. If I had a choice between arm wrestling and charades, I know where my money's at. Even though I'd probably lose very quickly. I headed towards a group of people hooting and surrounding two people locked in arms. A heavy hand rested on my shoulder and see who the hell it was touching me. It was Vince with a big goofy grin. Tabitha was standing beside him. Oh, I love these two so much. They're so cute. Come to arm wrestle? Think you can take me on? No, but I'll try. No, but I see no harm in giving it a go. Don't break it, alright? No need to worry about that. Vince sat down at the table and held his arm out. Tabby covered her face and groaned. Dad, it's my turn. But Tabby, I'm not sure Kaiju can handle you yet. Whatever, Dad. Let me try first, then you can give it a go. Some fun parenting going on here. I shrugged. Sure, why not? I could see where this was going. Vince shared a look at me and gave a slight nod. I sat down and held my arm out with clasped hands. Vince put up a good show of struggle, so I played along. After a few moments, he gave and slammed his hand down on the table. No way, Tabby Cat, you have to defend our family's honor. She beat you? Yeah, can you believe it? Well, it's my turn. I grinned and held my hand out to her. She sat across from me and eyed me suspiciously. You're not a cheat, are you? Cheat? Of course not. Tabby took my hand and pressed against her with all my might. She was actually pretty strong, so I made a show of fighting her off as hard as I could. After a few moments, I let her slam my hand into the table and pulled it back to shake it. You were not kidding. Your daughter is way stronger than you. Told you. I know, it's because she grew up with fresh fruits and vegetables. Oh, you were born here? Tabitha nodded. Someone yelled out Vince's name and they were both pulled away. I like the security folks in this one. They're really lovely people. After some time had passed, I decided to call it a night. I had to work in the morning. It was an odd feeling. Mum returned late and happily updated me on all the gossip she heard today. I listened to her go on and on until I finally fell asleep. Would have expected to get a star from these two. Gosh. I got up and headed to grab a coffee before work. I walked in as everyone gathered around Vince. Someone pushed a uniform into my hand and urged me onwards. Alright children, if you're new, pay attention. I don't like to repeat myself. Assignments are on the board by your name. If it doesn't make sense, ask someone. You must carry one of these around at all times. He held up a small black box. It almost looked like some kind of radio. If they go off, come back here immediately. Means there's an emergency. Or they have those buzzer things like you get at the chemist. Or when you're at a cafe. Whatever they are, they go off in emergency. Okay. If you're not fit, then you need to get fit. We don't have an easy sit-around jobs in the security force. You might not. You need to be able to run, fight, and lift. If I see you aren't making an effort, then you're out. You'll have to try and find another position in an easier department. Or be exiled. The choice is yours. Fantastic. I clutched my uniform against my chest. I need to spend some time at the gym. Shit. I think of us like a family. If you have any problems, you can come to me. I encourage you all to get to know each other. Take care of each other. And remember who will have your back if things go badly. He fell quiet and glanced around the room. I looked around. Were we supposed to say something? Now get to work. As soon as he finished speaking, he was immediately pulled aside by someone. I looked down at the closing of my arms and followed the others to change. When I returned, Edith stood with some of the other officers. They began to walk us through the job board and what the various assignments meant. We look good in that outfit. I want that outfit. That's good. Like, I would 100% wear that. I'd love to know who came up with the idea of bolero jackets as security uniform, but like, they've obviously looked in some very specific kinds of magazines for these outfits. And I love that ours is slightly loose, whereas Eva's is like so tight. Kaiju, you'll have to do paperwork today. So lame. Paperwork? Yeah, you have to file reports. It's really boring. I guess I'm glad I don't have to do it. She smirked at me, but then someone called her away. Someone else pointed me towards a desk piled with papers and folders, so I got started. The work was pretty intuitive, which was a relief. The room was a bit rowdy, but overall friendly. Work was over and some time to kill. Well, I guess we gotta do this gym thing. I walked in and saw Micaiah pacing around the walking track. He was walking fairly slowly and seemed deep in thought. I worked out alone and left. We're keeping to a relatively simple timeline for this one just so we can actually play through it. Otherwise we're going to end up spending like 8 hours playing it like we did Yags. I was getting late and I was tired. Time for bed. Well, our standing's going up. That's always good. People like us. Got up, headed out to grab a coffee. I spent the day working out and tried to get myself ready to pass the next fitness test Vince threw at me. Okay, so we got some very quick days in this as well. Work was over and I had time to kill. Let's keep doing this. We need to... Nothing in particular was interesting. There was a few things you could do. Oh, and hang out with Tabby. Hell yeah. Saw Tabby sitting alone. She was leaning against the wall with her eyes closed. Maybe she was taking a nap. As I approached Tabby, her eyes opened and she looked over at me. What? Is this a strange place to take a nap? She shrugged her shoulders and crossed her arms. Do you hang out here a lot? I guess. I need to get into shape. Your dad's got a pretty hard rule about fitness for his security officers. I know. You came here from the surface, right? Dawned on me that Tabby was probably born here. Yeah, the sand still shake out of my hair. I ran a hand through my hair and made a show of looking for sand. A little bit might have actually come out. Tabby smiled. No. What's it like up there? Dad won't tell me. He won't tell you? She sighed, rolled her eyes. Says it doesn't matter because I'll never go there. Then people like you come here and I don't know why people can't go back up there. Unless they're bad. I blinked as she kept attempting to rationalize it. Were you bad? But then, good, so they let you come back? I was born up there. Were your parents bad? No, at least I don't think so. Most people came from the surface. Cities like these are hard to come by. Really? Yeah. She nodded. I wasn't sure what it would be like to grow up down here. She really had no idea what it was like on the surface. I couldn't help but wonder what it was like. Okay. You didn't look like you had been exiled or something. I hope I never get exiled. That'd suck. Tabby smiled at me shyly. I'll tell my dad not to exile you, no matter what. If you play ball with me. Ball? Yeah, it's a game. I'll show you how to play. She stood up and grabbed a small, heavy ball, then proceeded to teach me a weird set of rules involving catching and throwing the ball. I didn't understand it, but that only seemed to amuse her. It was getting late and I was tired. You didn't even get a point with Tabby for that? Gah. Let's hang out with Eva. I got up and headed out to grab coffee. Just another day, filled out old reports and cycled out the ones that are too old to be addressed in the future. Same old, same old. We're just gonna keep doing the gym because we need this. Maybe we get some Eva time. I walked in and heard some loud thumps and grunting. Whoa, Sam was beating the shit out of a punching bag. She wasn't wearing any gear and her hands looked a little red. I have not met this character, but they look kick-ass. Fuck off, I'm not in the mood. Right. I made a quick... Okay, let's, I gave Sam her space and headed home. Yeah, I hadn't met her yet. Like, our paths hadn't crossed that way. Oh, she's a bartender. Okay. Like... Oh, Jude's friend. Okay. Yeah, this seemed like a situation where you need one of those ifs. If this, then this. Because that felt like my character hadn't met them, but they knew them. So that felt like where an introduction scene would be kind of necessary. I made a quick exit. As I walked out, I could hear the intensity of her punches picking up. Next day. Working out. Back to the gym. Who are we gonna meet this time? Nothing particularly happening. Let's work out. Start workout. I really need to get better shape. It's getting some very quick days now. Like, oops. Like we seem to have hit this very this string of short, grindy events to get up to stuff happening. Same old, same old. There you are, I've been waiting for you. Huh? All the departments are having a party at the bar to celebrate the first week of work. Come on, get ready. What, really? I sort of remembered someone talking about it, but I hadn't paid any attention. Yeah, come on, let's go, it'll be fun. I don't know, is it mandatory? I just got home. Ah, okay, this is where I'll get to meet Sam. Cool. Shook my hands and squeezed them. Okay. Got ready and headed out to the party. I would rather stay in my bed, but Mum really wanted to go. This is a nice bar. That's pretty. I'd hold an event here. This looks pretty cool. Icarus was really busy. Ah, Icarus. So, like, that was one of the 3 options for us to go do. We had the library, we had the gym, or we had Icarus. I didn't know what Icarus was. Because we hadn't been here before. The music bounced off the walls, and there were people everywhere I looked. There were dartboards, pool tables, card tables, and even a jukebox. I felt a hand on my shoulder and looked to see Mum giving it a squeeze. She pointed off somewhere and then left. I assumed she saw someone when she wanted to talk to. I was on my own. The warm, stagnant air was already starting to make me feel claustrophobic. A drink, or maybe I could find a quiet corner somewhere. I need to do something other than standing here awkwardly. Bar. I approached the bar and saw Sam was very busy, but also seemed to be having a blast. Jude sat near her and they were having some kind of humorous conversation. Kaiju, you seem to be in a good mood. That's because he has just enough to drink to be a pain in the ass. Jude laughed and turned away from Sam to look at me. How you doing? You're in Camden now, the wonderful sanctuary of the hell that is this world. He opened his arm wide and dropped them. You are drunk. And you should be. Let me buy you a drink. What do you have? Water. Cold water was enough for me. I guess the water. You don't have to buy it though. I can do that. Nonsense. Alright. Sam began to make my drink. Yes, this water. We've got to make it. We've got hydrogen atoms over here, and we've got oxygen atoms over here, and we're gonna make... Yeah. I must have changed barrel. I'm gonna switch over because, like... missing this piece of information is kind of throwing me, so I'm gonna... find an empty booth. Walked around till I located what appeared to be an empty booth. When I saw it closer, I saw it was occupied by my car. That'll do. His face was hidden by a book and he pressed against the wall as far as he could get. There were a few empty glasses scattered in front of him. I couldn't fight the curiosity and decided to investigate. Dr. Everett? Carl lowered the book to look over at me. He cleared his throat. Miss Phillips? What you doing? He set his book on the table and cocked his head slightly. I am enjoying the party. I tried not to smile but failed. I should request your company. He pointed to the seat beside him and he was still attempting to be ultra polite, but the alcohol was making it difficult. I sat down with him and he closed his book. What were you reading? An old favorite. Do you have a favorite book? Fantasy. That'll do. Big fan of The Rise of the Hawks. I am unfamiliar. Perhaps I'll look at it for the library. It's not the library. I own that one. I found it in one of those large metal boxes. Metal boxes? Yeah, in the ruins down south from here. He nodded and seemed lost in thought for a moment. I've been there, but it was a long time ago. You can borrow it if you want. He raised his brow and looked at me, snapping out of whatever memory was clouding his mind. You would loan it to me? Then I should loan one to you. He looked down at what he was reading and handed it to me. Here. I insist. In exchange. Loan me Rise of the Hawks. I smiled and took his book. I looked down and saw the slightest hint of something on his arm beneath his clothes. Whoa, do you have a tattoo? He jerked his hand back and scooted away from me. No, but I will see you around, Kaiju. Please excuse me though, I have had too much drink and I must retire for the evening. Good for him for knowing how much his limits are. I sat for a minute before realizing he wanted me to move. He was trapped till I did. Please. I moved to let him out. Did I upset you? No, of course, I am simply too inebriated and I must leave. Have a good night. He left in a hurry, his movements a little sloppier than usual. I couldn't help but wonder what he had been so freaked out about. The night wore on, it was time to go. People were leaving, the music was turned down low. Sam looked ready to start physically kicking people out of the bar. Mum joined back up with me and we walked home. It was getting late and I was tired. Next day. Can we get some Eva time, please? I felt like hell. Mum had already left. She must have decided to let me sleep in. My head was pounding. I rolled out of bed and stumbled to the kitchen sink for some water. The chill felt nice on my forehead. Been a long time since I felt this way. I glanced out of the room and tried to find something to provide relief. We didn't even have anything to drink. There wasn't even a rent in the bar? I missed it? We must return. We must return. Back. No. Back. No. Back. I can't go back any further. Hey Waffles, how you doing? I missed it. I can't go back after a day passed. Damn it! How far back did I save? 26th. I didn't save till like the start of that. Fuck it. Fuck it. Where's the autosave? Saves, autosaves. Hey! Load. Yay, waffles! Ah, thank you, thank you. Good game design. I backed up slowly so no one would notice and left quietly out the door. I walked out and bumped right into Gloria. No, not Gloria, we want... Fine, we're following home. I sighed and started to follow after Mum. It had only taken a few steps when some arms were wrapped around me and pulled aside. Eva! Last one. Oh, we got there. We got there. She looks very good in casual clothes. Fuck. Ah. She laughed so hard she had to lean over to catch her breath. She must be drunk. Kaiju, hey. Hey. She cleared her throat and stood up straight, looking at me with a big smile. I bit my lip to stop from laughing. Hey, Eva. She stared at me and seemed to forget what she was saying. Are you alright? Yeah. So you enjoying the party? I just got here. Yeah? You want a drink? I could buy you a drink. Oh. I'll be right back. She was gone. I watched her stumble through the crowd towards the bar. I smirked. Her bouncy nature was increased by the alcohol. I looked back to where I'd seen Mum, but then considered Eva a moment. She was loudly ordering some drinks for us. Since Eva was buying me a drink, I figured I'd wait for her. It'd be nice to see her outside of work. Damn right it would. She returned carrying 2 cups, liquid sloshing over the rim as she moved. Thanks. I took the drink she handed to me and swallowed it down in one go. It was sweet, but definitely alcoholic. Well there. Eva handed me her drink and I took that too. It was a good thing really. Eva would thank me in the morning. I finished her and gasped. It was way stronger than mine. Thanks, you really like this kind of thing, don't you? I motioned around me at the party. Yeah, oh come on, you want to dance? Oh, maybe play around a pool. Do you know how to play pool? Or why don't we sit down somewhere? Eva nodded and took my hand. Her hand was warm and I let her lead me to a table that was mostly empty. The other occupants were facing the opposite way and chatting with another group. She took the chair and moved it to be closer to me and sat down. So how you liking working here so far? It's great, right? I mean, not great, but yeah, it's alright. It's a big change, but I'm going to get used to it eventually. Shit, you want a drink, right? I'll get you another drink. Eva! I grabbed her hands before she could jump to her feet. I was already feeling the effect of the drinks earlier. Neither of us needed more. Just sit with me, okay? Eva relaxed and grinned. That fucking blush. Look at that blush. Oh, I love her. I love her so much. Okay. Despite Eva's friendly and outgoing personality, I didn't know a lot about her. I should ask her something. Her interests. What do you like to do, besides drink too much? I smiled so she knew I was kidding about the last part, but she didn't seem to take offense. I like all kinds of things. Music is nice, and I like books with lots of pictures. Comics. I like exercising and pool and shit. What do you like? Me? You were telling me about you. I want to know about you. She's so adorable. I just want to hug her. I smiled at her. I couldn't help myself. She was so energetic. I was starting to get sleepy. The contrast was amusing. I like reading, books without a lot of pictures. I like the cold water here and the showers. I like the fruit and vegetables. Some I've never tasted or seen before. I've never had a lot of time to not worry. This is all still new to me. Well, you're here now. She reached out and brushed something off my cheek. Eva, you're not causing enough trouble tonight. She pulled away to look up at Vince. Sir, is that an order? Vince laughed and they high-fived. I looked from Eva to Vince, missing out on the joke. He sat down with us and began to chat happily about all kinds of things. I listened, laughing at their banter. The night wore on, it was time to go. People were leaving, the music was turned down. Sam looked ready to start physically kicking people out of the bar. And we head back home. Thank you for telling me that was there. I needed that one. And we did this before. Just go to the clinic, maybe the same pain, go back to bed. Go back to bed. Sleep. Bed looked really good. I fell back in the mattress and closed my eyes until I fell back asleep. I woke up feeling a lot better. There wasn't any work to do today, so maybe I could try to see someone. Eva. You've done damn well, Waffles. Like, if I'm infatuated with a character this early, you know you did something right. Like... I headed outside to walk around. I was anxious to stretch my legs. Eva is awesome. Yeah. I started to walk in a random direction when someone tapped me on the shoulder. Hey Kaiju, I was heading to the gym. Wanna come? We can race. I turned to see Eva standing tall with a large bottle of water in her hand. Race? Yeah, on the running track. It's more fun if you do it with someone. Oh, sure? I suppose there was no harm in trying. Great. If it was anyone else, I'd try to get you more put money on it. I'm pretty fast, you know. Besides, you know how Vince is. Gotta keep in shape or you'll never hear the end of it. True. The gym was quiet. Hardly anyone was here. Eva dropped her gear and pulled her overshirt off and then began to stretch. I averted my eyes before she caught me staring at her toned arms and shoulders. Luckily, I would wear good shoes for running and lightweight clothing. I hadn't planned for exercise, but here I was. She's still wearing her overshirt. I wish to see those toned shoulders. We can just race one lap, then jog. She smiled at me and pointed her foot at the white line. That's the start and finish, okay? Alright. We stood behind the line and I tried to mimic Eva's stance. She began to count and then we ran. I took a few steps and already my lungs were on fire. I was dying. I made perhaps another 4 feet before I had to stop and walk. My breathing was heavy. Eva continued to jog until she ran all the way around and went back up with me. Shit, you alright? I'm sorry, maybe I should have let you in. Why? I don't know. She glanced down and began to hop from one foot to the other. You just walk? That might be good. She smirked at me. Well, I don't want you to die on me. I haven't been on the surface in years. I keep hoping it'll get better somehow. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, I guess. I got relatives on the surface soon. They won't come here though. What? Why not? Eva sighed and for a moment I didn't think she would reply. They said they're old and were born up there and so they'll die up there. She shook her head. Your parents? No, my grandparents, I guess. People who raised me anyway. I don't know if they're blood related. Oh. She shrugged it off, the movement elegant. She got quiet, so I decided not to bring it up, instead made small talk. I had a lot of fun with Eva, and after we went our separate ways, I wanted to shower and she planned to work out more. It was getting late. Time for bed. I've got time for another couple of days. My voice is already starting to pull me apart right now, so we'll see how I go. Oh, Waffles, quick question. Interview. You want to talk about As We Know It? I need to work out who is going to be who to talk to for the next blog. And I think it would be cool if it was you. When I woke up, I saw that Mum was sitting at the table, happily sewing something. Yay! Cool. Let me know when you're free. We just do it by Twitter DM or by email, whatever works best for you. Shouldn't take too long. Since when do you sew? I know how to sew. Cool beans. But you hate to do it, yet here you are humming away. Oh hush. What are you sewing anyway? I'm patching up an old scarf. An old scarf? Which one? It's son of Rick's. He was thinking of donating it to the fabric stores, but I told him I could patch it up for him. Is that part of your job as his assistant? Well, he told me not to bother, but I insisted. She was smiling and I could tell she was now a lost cause. I sighed. There was no stopping it now. She is going to be running the bunker in like a week. She's probably already subtly running things. The intercom lit up and the static-filled voice began an announcement. Camden Community Meeting, everyone. Please make your way to the community center as soon as possible. I looked at Mum and she smiled. Are these going to be a weekly thing? I believe so. Come on, I gotta get there early and make sure everything's ready for Rick. You gotta let me know if I miss an Eva. I'm getting stuff together. I got ready quickly while Mum urged me on and we rushed to the community center. Mum was busy with the mayor who had his freshly darned scarf draped around his throat. He was smiling at Mum while preparing to step on the stage. The room was filled with people and I grabbed a coffee and sat near the back. Good afternoon, everyone. It always brings me such joy to see all of your faces on a day like this. He makes me think of like a young Jeremy Irons. Like that's who I can imagine playing the mayor. Like you'd have Jeremy Irons and the mother would be something like Susan Sarandon, I reckon. That feels like it'd be about right. It always brings me such joy to see all of your faces on a day like this. First, let me update everyone on last week's news. The Career Festival was a success. All of our new residents have joined a career and should be fitting in nicely. Resource production is steady as usual, and other than some stormy weather on the horizon, everything appears peaceful on the surface. He began to drone on and on, talking about all kinds of things I knew nothing about, announcements and upcoming events I could just read on the bulletin board. I rubbed the bridge of my nose and sipped my coffee. Reminds me, I'm out of tea. This cannot be. Hopefully this meeting will be over soon. Told the artist Robert Downey Jr. Xanatos for the... God, I gotta rewatch Gargoyles. I haven't watched that in so long. Even though from what I remember, none of the gargoyles in Gargoyles were gargoyles. Like, they were grotesques, weren't they? Like, to get utterly pedantic about it, gargoyles are supposed to have a pipe in their mouth to funnel water. That's where garg comes from, the French. Like, I can't remember seeing them ever with rain pouring out their mouths. So I think they were all grotesque, but that doesn't sound anywhere near as cool. Actually, you'd end up with a far more Addams Family vibe for that. Yeah. Eventually, he got off the stage and went straight to my mother. I perked up, watching him pat his scarf and say something to her with a smile. Who's that? I don't know. Do you think our eligible mayor has finally decided to settle down? They giggled like girls several years younger than them. Looks like she's just his secretary or whatever. In all the years we've lived here, have you even heard the smallest rumor about him and a special someone? I stood up and left. I couldn't bear stomach to hear anymore. Mom can meet me at home later on. For now, I need to go home. I need to get out of that crazy cluster of people. I walked back and strongly considered just laying in bed, but then I'd end up waiting for her to come home. I had some time to do something before the day was over. Like, where are we more likely to bump into Eva? At the bar or at the gym? Like, we haven't actually bumped into Eva at the gym yet, and I kind of expected that. We do need to do more working out, although we don't have a set of, like, intrinsic stats for me to work off. Which is a little bit annoying sometimes. It's like, I need to get this stat up to a certain level. Okay. No, that's useful. That's useful. Let's hang out with Tabby. We've already hung out with before. She's good to hang out with. Tabby's off by herself again. Is there nothing for you to do? Why are you always here? I'm not always here. Why are you always here? I don't have to answer that question. There aren't a lot of kids my age, so when Dad works, I either study stuff or hang out wherever. I like the gym. There's all the windows to see the plants. Oh, the greenhouse? Yeah. So what do you do? Study? Mathematics and stuff? I'm not sure what career I want yet. I guess security officer would be cool. Like your dad? And you, I guess. Sure. I think I'd rather work with the plants though. I like food. You could study botany or whatever. Plant stuff. Maybe you can sneak in sometime. Really? Yeah, just don't tell your dad. I don't want to get exiled because we looked at some plants. I won't. She smiled and I sat with her a bit longer to chat. She told me about all the different things she studied and all the jobs she was interested in. I think we can do one more day. Yeah, we gotta start with Tabby. My throat is absolutely killing me. I got up and headed out to grab a coffee before work. Just another day on the security force. Wrote down citizen complaints and set them to the right security officer for assistance if it was needed. Same old, same old. Work was over and some time to kill. Back to the gym. Walked in, saw Jude on the other side of the windows. He was in the greenhouse. I approached him and tapped on the glass. He turned and gave me a small wave. I started to turn away, but he held up some blueberries in his hand, which immediately caught my attention. He chuckled. I couldn't hear it, but I could see the motion. He pointed to a side door, something that would normally be locked, and started to walk that way. I met him there. Here, don't tell, well, anyone, I guess. It's not like Brian would notice or care. Wow, thanks. I popped the little berries in my mouth and they were juicy and sweet. Amazing. Throw all that contraband fruit at me you want. He smirked. I will if you pass me any tech you find. Deal. Jude smiled and gave me a friendly nod. He ducked back in the door and I went back to the gym. It was getting late and I was tired. Time for bed. Oh, we got a heart with Jude now. Unintentionally. Alright. I think we are going to have to call it because I am tired and I'm dying. Waffles, I will chat to you tomorrow, hopefully, because I really want... I'm probably going to play more of this on my own now that we're at this point. Because I want to go through the rest of Eva's line and stuff like that. So we'll see how we go. I think we're all good here. There's much more people online, but that's all good. Anyway. I'm here. You're here. We're queer. We're all good. Alright. Yeah, it's a... How many, like... Is it like 8 hours per romance option long? Like Yags? Or are we talking longer? Because this feels like one that if I try and narrate the entire thing, I am going to die. Probably. So yeah, thank you everyone for... You're not sure? Well, we'll have to see. Thank you for joining me on another digital diversity stream. Should hopefully have a blog episode up in a couple of weeks with hopefully the wonderful Waffles. Should be another one of these stream in 2 weeks. So I'm pacing them out because visual novels are ruining my speaking voice. And there will be more podcast news coming up soon. So keep an eye on nbkaiju.com. Until next time, look after yourselves. Look after each other. Remember that you are not alone. And I will see you all next time. See you, folks.